Homer Hickam, best known for Rocket Boys, is now turning another fan favorite into a film, The Coalwood Way. The story isn't going far from home as plans are in motion to shoot the holiday classic in West Virginia. Zach Gilliland sat down with Homer and actor, producer, and West Virginia native Kevin Sizemore to learn more about the screen adaptation and the title. Take a listen.
West Virginia pride takes center stage this weekend. From the written word to the big screen, beloved author Homer Hickam is back in the Mountain State for the West Virginia Writers Summer Conference. But that's not all. Plans are in motion to turn one of his holiday classics, The Coalwood Way, into a film right here in West Virginia. Joining him on his exciting journey is West Virginia native and actor and producer Kevin Sizemore, who's helping bring the story to life. Now, Homer, what does it mean for you to be back in West Virginia, especially as the keynote for the Writers Conference?
Yeah, that was a very special time. And I got to meet a lot of writers who really deserve to be published. And one of the things that I'm doing these days, besides writing my own stuff, is I've actually become a publisher. I have a major imprint under Headline Books, which is a great big independent publisher. So that was one of the reasons I was happy to go up there. And I met quite a few authors I think deserve to be published, and I hope to bring them forward.
Now, The Coalwood Way holds a special place in the hearts of many people in West Virginia. How do you think it resonates for people here in the Mountain State, not only for them, but for this time in the holidays, too?
Yeah, I mean, The Coalwood Way is a Christmas story. When Rocket Boys / October Sky became such a huge hit, Random House came at me and said, "Would you write us a sequel?" And I said, "No, but I will write you an equal." And so I took those 100 pages that had already started and put them all together and created this story that I called The Coalwood Way. Another reason that Kevin and I are here in West Virginia is to talk about a movie that we're going to have based on The Coalwood Way, but we're going to call it December Sky. Like Rocket Boys, October Sky, okay, I'll bend. The Coalwood Way, the December Sky.
What excites you the most about having The Coalwood Way adapted into film?
I think that that there are millions, I know there are millions of fans of October Sky who have wondered, why has there not been a follow-on film here? So we have a really built-in audience. And of course, West Virginians are, and I'm so glad that West Virginians are proud of October Sky. And wherever they go and they say, "I'm from West Virginia," then a lot of times this movie comes up. And so we think December Sky is going to fit right in with that. And what we'd ultimately really like to do is turn this into a series.
So, Kevin, you're from here in West Virginia. To come back home to West Virginia, what does that mean to you, and why did you get attached to this project?
Well, you hit it right on the top. It's coming back home. Any chance I can come back home, I do. I left town in 1990, even though I come back quite a bit to visit family and friends and try to work. This is the perfect opportunity. It's going to bookend his amazing, illustrious career. I can see my friends and family, but at the same time I get to work, so that's a win-win for me. But we're also trying to build films here in the West Virginia region. As we know, we have a 31% tax break with the West Virginia Film Commission. Dave Lavender has done an amazing job with us, supporting us, being a cheerleader with us, trying to help us get this movie funded. And we're meeting with him later today. We're actually on our way to go meet with the governor. So we have a lot of people that know about the movie, but now many more will know about it thanks to you guys giving us this platform. And just being a part of a movie that, I think Homer said it earlier, it's the Happy Days vibe.
Yeah.
You know, you have that moment in time where life was simple and it was hard, but it was truth and honesty and good values, and I think we've deviated from that quite a bit, and this is a project that can lead us back to that world, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Now, with both of you guys are from fairly small towns. I know Princeton's a little bit bigger than Coalwood. For you guys, what is your biggest point of advice for the younger generation to follow their dreams in West Virginia from a small town, and you guys have been able to parlay that into a bigger platform?
Yeah, we think West Virginia is right now perfectly set for a great economic revival, just geographically where it sits right now. So that's going to happen. We definitely want to bring, with this movie and other movies set in West Virginia, we want to bring people's eyes looking at it and saying, hey, this is kind of a great place for me to bring my business, and also I'll retire here, I'll live here, or whatever it is. So Yeah, it's. I think there's going to be an economic boom in West Virginia coming ahead, and we want to be part of that as well.
Yeah, it's nice point about how we're geographically located with Kentucky and Virginia and Pittsburgh. All these other states are taking advantage of the tax breaks, and now we can. And when I was doing the film business growing up, I didn't have the opportunity to go to college and have a degree in film or have cameras to where we can do that. Well, we can partner up with colleges to where we can actually bring the kids in so they can be a part of this film process. So when the movie's over, they're going to actually graduate and have a film with stars in a movie that they're a part of, and that's going to just, no pun intended, take their career off like a rocket, which is great.
Now, my final question here. If you guys have 2 words to describe this film, what would it be?
Well, there is a tagline, and it does have, the end of the tagline is just 2 words. So the main character, being Sonny / Homer, is always being told by the adults around him, asking him to do something, and he will say, well, I'll do my best. And they reply, everybody, right, including Chipper the squirrel, says, do better.
Mine, West Virginia.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Homer, so much on Good Day at 4.
Homer wraps up the weekend by heading to the baseball diamond, where he's going to throw out the first pitch at the Dirty Birds game tonight. It was such a treat to have them here. And we're so glad you're joining us for Good Day at 4. We'll be right back.